Hello, hello, hello. For those that are joining us on the live stream, let's make sure we look good here. Da, 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 da. Okay, perfect. So, welcome to the Midweek Tune-Up, your quick midweek calibration for new construction real estate mindset and marketing momentum. So Nate is going to pop on with us. This is a staple every Wednesday between 1 and 2. We will be hopping on here and we will be sharing with you tips and strategies that are going to help you in your new construction marketing mindset and real estate marketing and mindset journey. So today we're going to review something that's near and dear to all of us is what happens when you go off course. So I will quick update here. Let this roll through. Build your dream today. We show you the way. Luxury leads come to play. New homes here to stay. Marketing's our game. Elevate your name. Reach for the fame. Never just the same. We're the iconic agent. New construction's our lane. Teaching you the secrets for luxury games. Digital wave we ride. Strategies we provide. No need to hide. Success is on your side. Close deals like a pro. Watch your profits grow. High standards we show. Feel that golden glow. We're the iconic agent. New construction's our lane. Teaching you the secrets for luxury games. All right, so we got Nate on here. Also, do not forget for monthly marketing training Q&A sessions and actionable tips and strategies, join the New Home Marketing Insider. You can scan this QR code or go to theIconicAgent.com/insider. The last training we just did last Tuesday is in the members area. This is a $5,000 training. Why do I say that? Because marketing companies charge $5K plus to implement what we actually implemented during that training, and that is showing you how to get 5x the leads and engagement on your social media by speaking to your ideal client avatar or ideal client persona. Avatar throws some people off. Super powerful when you create content based on the person that you're trying to attract. Great training. We've got a whole step-by-step in there in the Insider. Plus, there's a bunch of actionable information. So at the Iconic Agent, we are the best at what we do, attracting new construction and teaching agents how to attract new construction, luxury new construction buyers. We're not for everybody. Everybody's not necessarily able to afford us starting off. So we put together something where we're still sharing value. We have the Insider. We've got the podcast, the Iconic Agent podcast. If you just go search the Iconic Agent podcast, we drop crazy game, super amount of value. We have the Insider, and then we also have these sessions here, the midweek tune-ups to get agents. There might be some struggling agents, and might be some agents that are on the up and up, and they need some consistent value, something to help them out. That is why we have these sessions. We do have 2 events coming up. We've got the Accelerator, which is a 6-week new construction buyer traction training, and then we also have in February, late February, March, our luxury new construction buyer traction luxury new construction marketing mastery, our 4-day intensive, where by the time you leave in those 4 days, you will have gotten more done marketing your business than you did the entire prior year. So all of 2025. It's intense, but when you walk away, you've got everything set up. So just a quick note on that. And here we go. So today's topic is something that Nate and myself are very in tune with, and I'm sure you are as well. And what is that? What happens when stuff hits the fan? So I'll give you a little example here. So this week, we had Thanksgiving. We got off Thanksgiving. Of course, everybody kind of slows down. You maybe ate too much. I ate modestly. Haven't hit the gym, so I started hitting the gym again, getting back going. You had the kids here. They were sick. Well, guess who they passed the sickness over to? Me. So haven't been to the gym in 3 days. I've been in the house for 3 days. Had a bunch of things I want to get done, and I'm tired and lethargic, or life. And Nate understands exactly what I mean when I say life. So life. Well, what do we do to get back on track? Like, how do you shift? And like even today, my fiance is sick, so I'm making sure she's good while I'm working, while I'm on calls. I've been on 3 calls. I got 3 more calls today. Then I have a call I put on there, and I still have some things I got to get done. That's the life of a real estate agent. That's the life of an entrepreneur. What do you do when you just get frazzled and you're like, oh, I don't know where to start or where to begin or where to pick up from? So Nate, we'll start with you, and then I'll kind of give some strategies. So what are some tactics that you use to, when you get punched in the face, to get back on track?
Yeah, well, the first thing is I like to focus on mission criticals. Like, what if I have 10 things on my agenda today and I'm feeling overwhelmed? Out of those 10, okay, if I could only get 2 things done, what would those 2 things be? And then just focusing on those, committing to get those done, and then as Les Brown would say, keeping my commitment to my commitment. Right. So you sort of distill it down to what absolutely has to get done. What are those revenue generating, mission critical things that have to get done, and then focus on those. And the sort of the underlying theme in all of that, and this is something I'm sure you'll echo too, is you got to have a really strong why. Like, why am I doing this? Right? The goal, all of us are working to be able to get to a place where we work because we want to and not because we have to. And in order to do that, what makes us different than anyone else, especially as entrepreneurs, is we are ultimately held accountable to ourselves and to the people who know us, whether those are family members, parents, kids, whatever. So whenever I'm overwhelmed, the first thing that I look at is, okay, well, what absolutely has to get done today? What can I not procrastinate on? And then I focus on those things, and then ease into the other stuff, because usually you'll find that motivation has momentum. If you find those 2 or 3 mission critical things that you got to knock out, after you knock them out, it's kind of like going to the gym and saying, I'm just going to do 5 minutes on the elliptical. After you do 5, you're like, I'm here. Okay, well, let me do another 5. And you're like, oh, let me do another 5. Next thing you know, you got an hour workout in. So the same thing when it comes to lifing and stuff happening. It is what it is. That's, we can't control what happens. We can just control how we react to it.
Yeah, and you touched on a few things: overwhelm, momentum. Those are 2 things. And when you mention your mission critical, I like to do that as well. 2 to 3 things. Now, ideally, I pick 4 main things that I want to get done for the day. So it's actually a working 4. So it's 4 things to get done for the month, 4 main things. And then every day there's 4 things that I want to do to get to that 4 things for the month. And then there's 4 things for the week. So if you break it down, you have your big goal for the month. You break that down into 4 sections for the week. And then each day you work towards that. Breaking the bite-sized chunks down helps you release the overwhelm. And yes, mission critical, revenue generating activities. The first thing I have to remind myself of this constantly: is this worth my time, and do I need to be doing it, or can I outsource it? So if I can hand it off, I'm handing it off. If I just don't need to be doing it, I won't do it. And because I'm a creative, I have a CEO mentality. I'm very creative with ideas and things. My brain is always moving, so I have to actually kind of stop and say, nope, put it in a bucket, write it down, whatever the case may be, and then just focus on the main thing. Something that helps me, like when I'm squirreling, number 1, stop. Just reset. Okay, so, what's going on here? Like you just said, Nate, what do I need to do today? What is my 1 mission critical or 2 mission criticals? And I have to go further with asking myself, is this revenue generating? Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. You need to focus more on the revenue generating activities. That's kind of how to prioritize. And then if it's overwhelmed with just too much going on and I'm not catching momentum, I stop and say, okay, what do I need to stop doing? What am I constantly doing? I'm overwhelmed because something's not getting done. So first of all, what I need to stop doing. Then look at what I should start doing and what do I keep doing. So when you sit down and you just do that, and then also if you're in a funk where you're whatever reason, you get in your head and you start feeling doubt or depression or just bothered. Stop and ask yourself, what are the facts? Like what are the facts of this situation? Okay, I'm not getting this done because of why? Why? Because I probably sat on the phone too long talking to Nate about this great idea and I should have been sitting here focusing on this here, or I decided to sit down and take a little longer lunch, whatever the case may be factual about where you are. Then look at stop, what do you need to stop doing, sustain doing, and start doing, and then break that down into okay, let me start with this here. I just got off a coaching call with one of the clients, one of my one-on-one clients, and we were talking about the exact thing. He's like, I squirrel like all over the place. I'm like, I'm the same way. Like me and Nate are the same way. We're always doing something. We have great ideas. But one of the things that I recommended to him was time block. Follow the Pomodoro principle. I mention this all the time. But do one thing for 25 minutes on a timer. As soon as that timer goes off, get up, take a 5-minute break. One of the things I like to do is I use unused capacity. So what is unused capacity? Unused capacity is time that I could be doing something else. For instance, I'm brushing my teeth in the morning, right? And I haven't worked out, haven't run. It's 30 degrees. I'm getting used to this whole weather. I haven't run. I didn't go to the gym because I'm still a little under the weather. I don't want to get anybody sick, but I want to work out some way. So as I am sitting there brushing my teeth, I'm doing leg lifts. I do 100 leg lifts. That's something. I take a 5-minute break. I'll go do push-ups or I'll do pull-ups or something just to kind of get the blood flowing and get moving. But I'm also, at least I'm doing something, and that leads me into a routine. So Nate, I know you have a routine at times. Walk through what your routine is on a daily basis to kind of keep you focused. And when you do squirrel, you can also kind of come back around because you have this, your brain's used to the routine. What's your like morning or daily routine?
Well, morning, do about a 5-mile walk every morning, and so it takes me between an hour and a half, 2 hour ish, depending on how fast I'm walking. But during that time is sort of where I lay out the day, sort of think through what needs to be done, where I'm at, what my targets are for that day, what the goals are, where we're at, all that stuff. Just sort of walking through my life, so to speak. Thinking about what needs to be done and setting priorities for the day. And then after I've done that, by the time I get back to the car, I know what those, 2, maybe 3 mission critical things are for the day. And that's sort of where I'm going to be focused at. So I get home, change clothes, all that great stuff. And as I catch myself squirrel, I use the 5-second rule usually. I just go count down from 5 and go do whatever I'm supposed to be doing. So you'll procrastinate, you'll take calls or get stuck on emails or posting random stuff on LinkedIn or scrolling through reels on Instagram, whatever. But you got to come back to, okay, this is what needs to get done today, especially if it's things that I'm supposed to be doing on my own. If it's me contributing to something you and I are working on or something somebody else on the team is working on, it's usually those are good guardrails because you're accountable to other people and you don't want to be the lazy person on the group project. So that helps to sort of keep that momentum. But when I catch myself outside of that, it's sort of similar to what you said. You stop, okay, I'm supposed to be over here, and then you go over there. Because what I found is the more time I beat myself up or complain or procrastinate about not being wherever I'm supposed to be, it's time that I'm actually not being where I'm supposed to be. It's still time that's not productive. So once you realize that you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, stop and start doing it. Don't just stop and sort of mope in the fact that, damn, I fell off track. kind of like you miss a day at the gym. You don't miss a day at the gym and then, oh, damn, I missed a day at the gym. And spend the next day complaining about you missed a day at the gym, but you don't go to the gym then because you're complaining about not going to the
That's
gym.
2 days you missed.
So exactly. So once I realize that I'm sort of drifting, I get back, into that space as quickly as possible. And sometimes it happens, over and over again, right? I'll be the first to admit, I'll be on the phone with you or somebody else, and no, I need to get my ass off the phone, and it'll take me time. Or I'll get off the phone with you, and then my wife will call. I'll get off the phone with her, and then Ed will call me. So it'll take me a minute to, hey, man, I can't talk. I got to go do this. But being able to recognize it and sort of work that discipline muscle of this is what I have to get done, and then scratching that itch, as like you were talking about with the Pomodoro stuff. Okay, once I get done with this, I can call Damon back. Once I get done with this, I can call my wife back. Once I get done with this, I can call Andre or whoever. But having some sort of way to balance the productivity and the desire for my mind to drift is usually can get both of those things done and still be making progress.
And you hit on something big, the drift. That is something that we all run into where we just start to kind of feel bad for ourselves or feel sorry for ourselves. And that's one of those things also where I was like, we're human. We got to give ourselves a little bit of grace. But being self-aware enough to know, like, wait a minute, I'm drifting, and have a routine, like they just mentioned, having a routine or something you can fall back on and say, okay, let's get back on the 25-minute Pomodoro, or let me sit down and write down what do I need to stop doing. I need to stop drifting. I need to stop thinking about not going to the gym. I need to stop thinking about those leads that I didn't call or those campaigns I didn't set up, and now that I know I'm not doing it, go do it. And you also reinforce the unused capacity. So you're on a 5-mile walk. That's an hour and a half. Now, you could be listening to some motivation. You could be listening to some trap music. You could be listening to a podcast, and I know sometimes you do. But that's the key. Like if you're working out, so you're actually doing two things. You're working out, but now you're also, okay, you're planning your day out. I do the same thing. So my routine is I'll get up, take my supplements. I usually do like a 15, 20-minute meditation. I do some journaling, get whatever's in my head because my brain is always moving, get out of my head, and I'll get kind of centered and focused, and then I'll go work out or I'll go to the gym. Lately, I've been running. So I'll run or walk. I do about 3.5 miles, and in between there, I do about 20 pull-ups, 10 pull-ups, 10 chin-ups, and about 25 push-ups, and then I run up a hill. It's about 35 degrees, about 3 or 4 times, but that's how I get my stuff moving. But during that, sometimes I'm talking to you, or I'm talking to, Mo's usually at work, so I might be talking to Mo, or I'll be talking to somebody, but typically what I'm doing is I'm thinking, okay, what's the day look like? I'm planning out my day, writing down the mission critical items for the day. I am ideating on content, so I'll sit there, and the Otter app is the best thing since sliced bread. I'll sit there and give stories in the Otter. I'll talk to Otter for content ideas, and then I'll take that and I'll use that throughout the day to turn that into something. And I also just sometimes I'll listen to podcasts or I'll re-listen. A lot of times, what I'll do is I'll listen to something that we did. Like I'll listen tomorrow. I'll listen to this and sit there and think through. Like, ooh, what did I miss, or how can we improve this, and then put some more content out later on that. But it's always something I'm working out while I'm doing that. But when I get off track, so for instance today, I usually get up about 5 o'clock. Get out to bed around 5:30. I didn't until about 7. So I could be like drifting, which I started, man, I done lost an hour and a half of my day. Or I just be like, all right, well, the day starts now. There's still 24 hours. There's still 24 hours in a day. There's still the time left. So I'm just going to be starting an hour and a half later. And I'll have to get what I can do, make it up or whatever. Versus, man, and then that just throws my whole day off. But that is, and the other piece there was the accountability. Like you said, when you have accountability, and I know you're big on that, especially with like personal trainers and things like that. Everybody needs some level of accountability, and I notice a lot of real estate agents want a level of a kick in the pants and accountability just to help them move. And I think as people, because we're tribal creatures, that's actually beneficial. Now, whether or not you do anything with that. So, for instance, I have an accountability group that I've been in for 12 years. That's the longest ever. Same 3 people. Me, Rashida, Anthony. We've had people pop in and out. Same 3 people for 10 years. Every week we get together. We've missed maybe 5 in the last 12 years. I say 6 in the last 12 years. Somebody's on. We'll talk. We'll share ideas. What are you working on? What are you working on? Okay, boom. We come back. Did you get this done? It's great for resources. And then I have another one later on in the day at 5, which I'm actually going to start inviting agents to. So if you guys are interested in any level of accountability, drop accountability in the comments underneath this replay, and I'll reach out. We'll see if we can get you in there if you're a good fit. It's at 10 o'clock, 10 to 11:30. But accountability is great because you're able to run ideas past people, or just be like, hey, like I tell my fiance, I'm like, all right, even though I hate to be told what to do, this is what I'm supposed to be doing this week. I need you to stay on me. And I might be mad at you, but I'm going to get it going. Like, nobody loves their personal trainer. So when you were working with Zay, Nate, were you and Zay best friends, or you were like, I can't stand it, but I paid you, so I got to get my work done?
Yeah, pretty much. I would start the workout by telling Zay I wasn't scared of him. So yeah, you want accountability, but that's the point. You don't want somebody that's going to allow you to slack when they know what you're capable of. You want somebody that's going to press you. Exactly. Somebody that's going to press you, because you need to be pressed to get to where you need to be.
Yeah, and the main thing with this whole conversation, because me and Nate were talking earlier about this, I was like, "Ooh, this would be perfect to share this on one of the midweek tune-ups," because everybody deals with this. Everybody deals differently with it. So I'd be curious to y'all that are watching this, in the comments, list how do you deal with overwhelm? How do you deal when you get off track? What do you do? Or do you need resources? Because we can drop them in the comments. We can do a whole nother series on this. There's a whole lot. We can go real deep in this as far as getting back on track or just getting on track. That is one of the things, if you've heard us talk about the life architecting process, that's one of the things that keeps me on track, because each week I know what I'm doing. I know what I want. I know where I'm going. I'm very clear on the path. And when I veer off, I just pull back and say, I said I want to do this, and I come back and do it. So when I'm drifting off, I can drift back on because I know what I'm drifting onto, because I have a clear path of where I want to go. I might come over here, but I can see the path, versus just going around with blinders, which most people do. They just drift wherever life takes them versus architecting and controlling where they want to go. So this is how, like, the world can be falling apart behind me and I can still stay focused and focused on the mission. Now that mission might change, but I can stay focused even if everything in behind me is falling down. I know, Nate, you and I joke around, and you and your John Wick, your whole every day of your life is John Wick. You're living in a John Wick movie. Yeah. I can understand that, but you have a very distinct capability to be able to pull it back. Whatever's going on back there is fine. We're focused. This is where I'm going, and I'm gonna bring y'all with me if y'all want to come. So, but yeah, this is definitely something that I know needs to be heard. It needs to be said, especially at the end of the year. From what I've gathered, a lot of agents are like, next year we're going to make this a whole lot better year. So these are just tips and strategies this is going to happen whether you're kicking ass or whether you're struggling. This is always going to happen. Life is going on life. So this is one of the ways that we deal with it. We can go deeper into this. So if you guys in the comments drop, when life lifes, what do you do? How do you handle it? If you have any questions for us, we'll answer those. All right, we'll see you guys on the next Midweek Tune-Up next Wednesday.